musiciangoods.com.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video brought to you by the guys at Musician Goods, the one-stop shop for everything music production, music producer, apparel, both kits, apparel, items, stuff like that. Just everything you need right there on their website. Definitely check them out. They asked me to bring you guys another video because you guys been giving me such good feedback and letting us know what you like. And today's another video. Today's gonna be a two-part video where I'm gonna teach you guys how to mix your beats and also how to master your beats. You don't really need to know how to master your beats too much if you're gonna get it sent off, but having your beats in a nice mix stage is very important. But if you're a one-stop shop person doing everything yourself, maybe you're an artist who makes beats, this will help you out to get your beats to sound the best they possibly can. So when you put your lyrics to them, they sound good. So I'm gonna show you that right now inside the video. So yeah, you already know. Let's get right to it. Not gonna waste too much of your guys' time to do it. So here we are inside the FL Studio. I have this kind of simple 808 Mafia style beat right here. Something simple I just threw together for this video, but it hits hard, but it's very unmixed, and you'll hear when I press play. So this is what it sounds like, and let's get into mixing it. So very simple beat, very hard hitting, got a lot of high energy to it. It's only really two samples or two sounds, not samples, but two sounds in this song. And actually the rest is just percussion instruments. But I'm gonna show you, how to really mix and show you how to get a good mix, even with something, not as much as this song right here. So let's jump right to it. So the first thing I like to do every time when it comes to, mixing my beats is just some pre stuff to kind of get ready. Now that I like to make sure that every track is sent to its own mixer channel. Why? Because that will help me do some final volume adjustments, stuff like that, if I need to do that in the future, whatever. And if you want to send something to a mixer channel, if there is no mixer channels assigned, if you just go to your Fruity Wrapper of whatever sound you want, you just click this little track button and it will pretty much send that song or that sound to the first available track that's available in here. So that's dope. You don't have to right click and link the channel and all that BS no more. Just click like that. But I think that's only introduced in version 12 or higher. And if it's to 11 or lower, you got to actually manually assign it. So keep that in mind. So once you get that done, now it's time to start kind of mixing. Now, how I like to mix is I like to always start with my sounds first, and then I like to do my percussions. And also another rule of thumb is wherever you want to be the loudest in your track or your mix or whatever, mix that sound last. So if it's your drums or 808s, mix that last. If it's your maybe guitars or whatever, mix that last. If it's your vocals, mix that last. Because if you do that, you're guaranteed to always have that sitting on top of everything and being the main star of your actual mix. So just whatever you want to be the most prominent sound, mix it last. So let's jump right into it. So first off, I'm gonna start with my normal sound. So what I like to do is to always solo my sounds. I like to go individual. So first I like to turn everything all the way down. I like to mix from the bottom up. I don't like to mix from the top down. Basically what that means in my turns, whatever is, I like to start low and I like to push my faders up until it sounds good. Now, usually if I'm mixing on headphones or speakers, I will turn my speakers up to a very good volume, or my headphones, not all the way up, but just kind of all the way up and then back it off just a little bit. That way, it helps me out, because that way you'll push your faders a little bit less in the end result and you have a little more headroom. So just a little quick tip right there. So let's go do it. So I'm gonna play the sound and I'm just gonna bring it up until it sounds good in my ears. So as you hear, there's nothing in here. So let's just bring it up until it sounds good. Now, it might be really low for you. I'll try to normalize it in the actual editing process so you hear loud, but it's pretty loud for me because I have my headphones turned all the way up to their fullest. But you don't want to turn too fast because some headphone amps, make like that little hiss or whatever. But if you also, another quick tip, if you hold the control button and move the faders, it actually moves it in very, very small increments. Instead of going all the way like this, if you hold control, it does it just a little bit at a time. So just a little quick tip. As we see, I'm like around negative 20 dB of, volume for that one sound, even you see right here. But since I got my headphones up loud enough, that's giving me enough headroom for the end. Next, I'm gonna move to this next sound, which is the analog lab sound, which is kind of like a little siren sound I made. And then, just do that next. And this is another place where you also be making your sounds fit right in a mix. So for example, let me just mute this again. I also added an EQ to this. And why I did that, because I knew that I wanted to cut some of the highs from it. So, you know, also another thing in mixing is to kind of augmentate or kind of mess around your sound. So adding flanges, reverbs, delays, EQs, compressors, all that good stuff. You know, for this sound, I just wanted to cut some of the highs out of it because I feel like it was too bright. See, it was just too bright for me. I feel like it's gonna muddy up the mix and make, you know, the highs, when you put some vocals on, you won't be able to hear the vocals too good. So I'm just gonna, you know, add the high cut filter or low pass filter. And that just leaves a lot of room for, you know, the vocals and stuff to kind of shine. So that's just a little trick right there, you know what I'm saying? And then for my analog lab sound, I don't think I did anything to it. I actually half-timed it. So that's just like, say, it's gross beats. If you got gross beats, go to gross beats and halftime, momentary halftime, same effect. I just use a halftime plugin because I like this a lot better, because personally it's the plugin on steroids, or that one preset on steroids. And yeah, it just does the job. So before it was like this. It gives kind of like a little swelling effect type thing. So I like that little effect. Next, I like to always work on my hi-hats and claps and snares next. That's just my thing. So I would go to my hi-hats and just bring them up. And I'm not going by no set value or whatever. I don't do, you need to set your stuff to -8 or -12. I don't do that. When it sounds good in my headphones or in my speakers, that's when I go by. And that's all you need to go by. Trust your ears, not your eyes. And then for my hi-hats, I also like to pan my hi-hats a little bit, just to give a little bit of stereo feel and give a little whiff. So you can do that with sounds, experiment with panning stuff. I would say anything like drums, 808s, or claps and snares. You can keep those in the middle because they sound good. Anything else you kind of pan left and right and just kind of go crazy with and just kind of experiment with the stereo feel. So I like to use the panning down here in the actual channel, and I just gonna kind of pan it to the right a little bit. That's just my personal taste. And that's just gonna give it a little stereo feel in the end. And next I'm gonna go to my clap. And if you notice, I am using the volume adjustments on this side in the pattern rack or the channel rack, and not in the faders, because the faders are really my last line of defense type thing. I like to set my volume with the actual channel rack, and then if I need to kind of adjust anything or make, if it's too loud, I like to go in here and I still have some, you know, more room to kind of bring it down to be a proper level. That's just my personal way of doing it. You can just use the fader straight out if it's easier for you, but me personally, I like to start over here and then use this as to bring it down to control my headroom, make sure nothing's like distorting or clipping. I just add a little reverb to that clap, you know. Always reverb on claps is where it says. So just use Fruity Reverb 2. Let's see, where is the Fruity Reverb 2? Let's add a little reverb to it. Nice. Add my snare in there. Dope. Now I'm gonna go through and add in my hi-hats and everything like that, my cymbals and everything. I'm going by this pretty quick, but you know, you get the idea. This is all my percussions right here. I'm just gonna go through one by one and add them in there. Oop, actually I held control when I did that and it kind of messed up all my stuff. So that's gotta bring that stuff back real quick. All right. Dope. So there you go. So far, I'm actually enjoying this. Let me go ahead and say, 'cause I don't want to mess this up. I'm enjoying it. Sounds really good. I'm gonna play it, you know, how it is. Sounds pretty good. And also you see I did kind of pan my hi-hats and cymbals left and right. Let's say get some stereo separation to kind of just make it sound a little bit wider and a little bit more fuller. Now here comes the part that I love the most, the kicks and 808s. I always do my kicks first and then my 808s. Personally, I'm not going to do any of these fancy tricks with the kicks and 808s in this video. I did a video on how to kind of mix your 808s. Check out the channel to see the previous video on that. I'm just going to, you know, turn them up and, you know, because these are really good kick and 808 samples already. I'm using the DJ Spins 808, of course, and I'm just using a similar style rat kick type sound. So I don't really have to do no mixing to them, just kind of level them out. So let's go and do this. So next is my kick drum. Might need to add some, gotta clip it a little bit. Dope. Now let's go ahead and add the 808 up in there. Nice. And it's just to kind of check and see where my levels are. I'm gonna throw in this Fab Filter Pro and just kind of see where my loudness is. I would like to use a K scale to kind of see where my loudness is, because usually this is like negative 12 dB where 0 is on the K12 scale. So I'm gonna see where it's at. And we're coming in a little bit too hot, which is good. So now I can show you guys why I don't use the fader. So now I can just go right here and I can just bring this. Like I can highlight everything from one side. If you hold control and just kind of slide across, you can highlight everything, and then I can just bring everything down at once. Easy right there. Simple. Like I say, now I have the appropriate headroom. So when I go to mastering, it's going to be easier for me to master because I don't have to move the faders that much. And you see, it's pretty simple. If you start off with good sounds, you don't have to do a lot of EQ and a compression like that. So pick good sample. That's another key. Don't use these cheap samples that you catch off Reddit or off a no-name producer who just trying to put out a recycled drum kit or whatever. Don't use high-quality sound kit. Check out musiciangoods. They got some sound kits that are dope as well. Or, you know, so, yeah, get from a reputable producer or a place to get samples. But as you can see, pretty simple. Like I said, doing it this way is a lot easier. Like I said, all you want to do is just, you know, start from the beginning, do each sound one by one. You want to make sure whatever sound you want to be the loudest, do that last. Like I said, my 808s and drums are going to be the loudest because I mixed them last. Like I said, do a little stereo panning for certain sounds, synths, instruments like that to just make the sound wider. And then, yeah, just kind of do it by ear. Don't go visually. It doesn't matter what the number's set to. It's what your ears hear. If your ears say it sounds good, then guess what? It most likely is a good place to start. Yeah, that's pretty simple. If you got any more questions, like I said, leave it in the comment below. Like I said, when we go to the next video, it would be about mastering. I'm going to show you how to take this sound that's super low right now. It's got a good headroom. It's about negative 12 dB. And we're going to make that thing super loud without distorting so it hit hard no matter where you play it. I'm going to show you guys my little secret kind of, I guess, mastering chain or whatever. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy. Like always, you know who it is. Your boy Slim, a.k.a. Mr. Different, your favorite nappy-headed producer. Not motivated by the money, but the like, comment, subscribe, and view. So please thumb up the video. Subscribe to the channel. Come check out my channel as well at Mrdifferenttv if you want to join the community. And yeah, leave a comment below, and you know, I'll get, you know, let us know what you guys think about this and what you guys want to see in the future. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy like always, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. Yeet.